Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here. For today's video, I want to sit down and share with you guys what I got yesterday, Friday, November 22nd from TSL Kurashiki, or the Superior Labor in Kurashiki, Japan. If you're familiar with this store, you know exactly why I went there, and that is to get a custom TN. Or if you're unfamiliar, a TN or Traveler's Notebook usually comes like this. This is a passport size TN. It usually comes quite plain and simple, which is still beautiful, and it usually has an elastic closure around the center and a blank notebook insert. There are two sizes, the passport and the regular size, or the standard size, which is slightly larger. But yeah, for the most part it comes quite simple, but at this particular store you can get customization, which includes stamping, patches, brass tags, charms, and other kind of leather detailing or like customizations on the cover. So it's really fun if you're really into the Traveler's Notebook system, or maybe you're just curious like about the whole experience. So I will cover all that for you guys today. I will share with you guys what I got and my thought process as well behind each of the customization decisions, because you know, with all those possible combinations, there are a lot of ways it could look at the end basically. And you know, here I'm just showing you one color. There are 5 colors I think in the Traveler's Notebook lineup, so you know, there are endless possible combinations that one could get, and I wanted to show you guys what I ended up picking. I will also share with you guys the price breakdown of each of the customization items that I selected, just in case if you're thinking about going yourself, like what you should expect to pay basically, or just give you, I guess, some idea if you're thinking about a similar type of customization, or you're just interested in more and so you kind of want to know where to set your threshold. So I will cover that for you guys today, and then again I'll show you what I got and how it turned out. I am super happy with my choice, so I'm very excited to show you guys. So if you're interested, stay till the end, and yeah, thank you guys for watching this video if you guys are interested. Okay, so as I'm talking, I'm so sorry I don't have any background footage of the TSL Kurashiki store, but if you're interested, I highly recommend 2 of my favorite YouTube channels. One is TOXMOT and the other is Little Coco Studio. Both have an amazing video on their TSL Kurashiki customization experience. I watched both of these before going, and I will link their video in the description box so you guys can find them easier. But yeah, they just talk about how they navigated the whole customization process from start to finish, and you know, also they showed what their customized tan looks like. So it was a really great reference point for me, and just helped me because I'm kind of like a nervous person, so just knowing what to expect or look out for was really helpful. So I highly recommend their videos, and I don't think my video is gonna be that detailed or that helpful, but hopefully, you know, you guys are watching to see what I got and see how it turned out. And yeah, so I will just start talking about my thought process, I guess. One of the things I decided first for myself was the size and color of my TN. I knew from watching their videos that I couldn't customize a notebook that I already have. So like, for example, I own this Starbucks Reserve Roastery Passport TN. I knew I couldn't bring this ahead of time for them to customize, like I would have to buy one there. So I knew I didn't want a color that I already have, so I have one here in olive and I have one here in camel. I do have a TN in the standard size, which is the larger size, in blue from Kyoto. So I wasn't interested in any of those colors, so that would leave brown and black as kind of the colors I don't have in my Traveler's Notebook cover collection, if I could say that. So I went with black. It was also much easier to make that decision when I was there as well, because when they showed, for example, the stamping, they had black with white stamping, and then a cover right next to it with camel and black stamping. So I could really see the comparison, and I could also already see what the stamping would look like on a black Traveler's Notebook. So I knew black. And passport size, again, was an easy choice for me because I use my passport TNs for as a for a cover for my cafe journal. I've used both of these when I go out. I'm currently in this one, but I use this olive one for a longer time than I think this Reserve Roastery. Both I think look really, really good after, you know, using it. I bring it in my backpack or purse every time I go out, even if I'm just gonna go out briefly. It's just always in my bag. So they've traveled well, and I really love the size more than the standard size. I have two in the standard size, and I don't think I've touched them in like 2 years now. So black passport size was like a check, easy for me. And I will show you guys what my cover looks like, and I'll go over the little details as well for you then. Okay, so this is what I ended up getting at TSL Kurashiki. This is a black passport size TN with customization. So I'll first talk about the two stamps that I got. There's nothing here in the back. You can see some stitching from an inner pocket that I selected as well. And then you can already kind of see shining in the light this little brass tag here. I'll first talk about the stamping. I wasn't necessarily deciding between patches and stamps, but I knew I wanted stamps because I do like my traveler's notebook to be quite thin. And the patches aren't necessarily super bulky, but I knew it would add a little bit of, you know, kind of thickness to it if I had patches on the front and back. So I thought maybe keeping it to stamps would be the more minimal, kind of more sleeker in, like, you know, like not as thick TN cover. And also what I was surprised how much I love is the variation that the white stamping is on the black cover. One of the biggest, I think, differences you can tell when you go there is when you see the black stamping on the camel cover. The stamp is so much more crisper. Like, as you can see here, the writing isn't hard to see, but it's not as crisp as, let's say here, this is on the gift bag you can get. It's very, very crisp when it's in black ink on the camel cover, and I was slightly worried that, oh, maybe I wouldn't be able to read it because it kind of gets, like I said, a little muddled. But I love especially the text here at the top, how much like the text color seems to pop, because the kind of whiter, more wetter part of the ink made this kind of like outline of the font. And I think, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it just kind of outlines the text in the most beautiful kind of shading. So it kind of looks like the text is popping out. Again, I don't know if it's picking up, but I absolutely love it. I love that little subtle detail that you can get because it's white on black. So like there's a layer of gray. I think it looks amazing, and I decided on this stamp placement because one of the examples in the kind of sample book that they have there, they have several books that you can look through to see other people's TN covers, like the customization options, and one of them had a stamp that was kind of off, like incomplete, kind of stamped off the edge of the TN cover. And I like the look of it because it kind of, for me, was a nod to the kind of traveler's notebook brand, or that kind of aesthetic of, you know, kind of stamping a notebook, traveling, like stamp collecting. And I like the idea that the kind of stamp is not misplaced, but like imperfect, I guess, basically on the cover. So I knew I wanted the stamps to kind of almost cut off, like be cut off on the edge. And this one is kind of like that because the brass tag I knew would cut into the text. Just again, trying to give it a traveler's look or at least a traveler's look that I think is quintessential travelers. And what was a happy little accident, I think, with my stamp placement as well, is that the kind of empty space where there isn't stamp like white ink, I somehow have left a space for both of my hand to not touch any of the stamping ink. I don't know how well this white ink will hold up over the years. Like, I mean, this is just 1 day old, so I don't know what it's like if I constantly stick my fingers and rub the kind of white stamping ink. And because of the way I placed it, it actually sits really nicely in the hand where I don't have to touch any of the white ink or the white stamps, because I would normally hold it like this or like this. And again, very free from rubbing off the white ink. And even if it was just partially, like let's say I moved the stamp over, my thumb was covering it, this little part I think would wear a lot more than the parts that I don't touch. So a happy little accident by the way I placed it, and I don't know if it's something that other people would consider important, but the stamping again was the main customization, or the main visible or visual customization element that I selected. So I wanted to, I'm happy to like have a decision that would preserve it, I hopefully longer than I think it would if it was in a place that I was constantly touching, is basically what I want to say. And yeah, so that's about the stamping. Another close-up of both of them. Again, I love how the white ink has like tones of gray and white, and I just love the way it pops, especially on the letters. And then this like little the circle around it, it seems like very natural. I don't know, I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. The second like the second, third customization items I picked was this brass tag here. It says the superior labor, and the pocket here in the back. I'm saying them together because they both were part of the same thought process, and that is because instead of the elastic that goes through the back hole here, I like to have this plotter elastic to hold my TNs closed. And what I ended up doing was bringing this notebook with me with my insert, and then measuring approximately where the elastic will sit on this traveler's notebook. Usually this brass tag I've seen in most of the examples in the kind of sample book was here, because that is where this elastic band will come here, and it usually kind of creates a dent or an indentation from that elastic. So I think it's to protect it from kind of collapsing in or bending in, and since I don't have that problem, I thought I would move it up here. And what's great about that is because the superior labor here is written across. When it's on the side here, it's going to be sideways, but having it at the top here, you can see that it's read straight. So this is the superior labor here. It's very clear to see, it's very shiny, and I don't know, I like that I can see it like straight on, I guess. And the back insert is also related because I need to buy a new one of these plotter inserts, or I would assume it's called an insert or plotter board, or yeah, I guess insert, is that I was hoping to put this insert here in the back. Usually when I use this elastic board, I just kind of throw it in here in the middle somewhere, and then I like loop it closed. But I was hoping that when I get a new one, because this pen loop was an attachment that I bought, it usually doesn't come with it, I thought it'd be nice to have a kind of permanent or semi-permanent spot for it in the back here, where it would slot in, and then I could always have it and not have to like put it to the side when I open my Tetra. Like, it will always have a little spot here. So I wanted to give it a dedicated area, and again, tying this back pocket to this brass tag, again in combination for the kind of closure aspect that I so much enjoy with my traveler's notebook. So yeah, that was my customization decisions. And yeah, I will do a small price breakdown of each of the items. 1 second. Okay, so I will have the cost breakdown here on the right, but if you're just listening, my traveler's notebook in this black cover was 4,620 yen. The black insert here in the back, this leather insert here in the back, cost 1,320 yen. This superior labor brass tag here cost 660 yen, and then the 2 stamps cost 550 yen each. So if the math is correct, that cost me 7,700 yen, 7,700 yen, or roughly in dollars, if that helps, roughly $49, which I think is great. I was pleasantly surprised by the cost actually for a custom notebook. I don't know why I expected it to be more, but I think maybe I kind of factored in how much the patches would cost, and I know that they're quite expensive. So thankfully I didn't have any patches, but also I think with the passport size, there's also limited space. I mean, if you get a larger standard size, there's more space to kind of decorate and orient stamps and patches and like brass items and charms, so it can get quite costly. And yeah, again, I'm just limited to the passport space or the kind of area that you can customize. I knew they told me that I couldn't customize, like I couldn't stamp over these kind of detailing, which obviously this one I can't, but like here I couldn't custom like stamp over it. And I think you can't have like a patch over, like if I had a patch here, I don't think that the stitchings could overlap. So again, selecting different customization could negate other like customization choices as well. Yeah, that is the total cost of what my black TSL Kurashiki notebook cover cost. And I also purchased a few other items which I want to show briefly. I got these items. I got the TSL Kurashiki insert in the passport size. I got washi tape, and then this little charm in the this gourd shape. One second. I thought this little gourd was so nice. It says TSL and Kurashiki in Japanese here. And I thought this little gourd shape was so unique. I've never seen it before. But I grew up seeing these kind of Japanese like dried gourds in my grandmother's house. And when I saw the shape, it kind of brought me back to that memory. And Japanese gourds are supposed to symbolize like happiness and success. So I'm hoping to somehow attach this to my traveler's notebook here in some way, because I don't have the elastic strap, like I said, to go in front, but I'm hoping there's some way to attach this little charm. And I also want to attach it to this beautiful gift I got from little Coco Studio. It is a charm from the Superior Labor. When I met her in Osaka, she gave me this beautiful gift, and I want to somehow incorporate it with this gourd. So it symbolizes happiness, success, and then friendship. And again, just meeting someone so kind to give me a gift from the Superior Labor. I just want to keep it with me, and I want to keep it with my my passport notebook as just kind of this beautiful memory. Somehow, I haven't figured it out, maybe somewhere here on the side or within the kind of elastic here that I have here, maybe hanging from the top or something. Again, I haven't figured it out, but both of these items I do want to include in some way with my traveler's notebook here. So this one. So yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this wonderful gift I got from a fellow YouTuber. Yeah, she was just the kindest. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. And I also wanted to mention that these 3 items cost me roughly 9,800 yen, 830 yen or something. And at the time of filming this, this store has a kind of I don't know if it's a campaign. No, not really a campaign. But if you spend over a certain amount, you get a free Christmas ornament from TSL Kurashiki. So if you hit 10,000 yen, which I was only 120 yen away, you could pick an ornament from this Christmas tree that they have in the store. And because I was so close, you know, if it was like 1,000 yen off, I wouldn't have bought, you know, more items. But I ended up buying this washi tape for 500 yen. So my total actually for these 4 items is 10,362 yen. And again, over that 10,000 yen threshold, I would get this ornament, which I want to show you here. Basically, they had a tree in the store, and you could select out of basically 2 different shapes, but in many different leather colors. So they had this tree and this kind of ovalish tag-like shape that said Merry Christmas, TSL Kurashiki, or the Christmas tree. For the Christmas tree, I was deciding between this one and the natural leather because I thought it would age quite nicely, and it's quite Kurashiki, or the superior labor style, you know, kind of natural leather, and it, again, how it's gonna age would be so nice. But because it says Merry Christmas on it, I really thought I was gonna go festive, and it just screams Christmas to me because, again, it has a gold detailing. The natural one didn't have any, like, I think it was just stamped, so it's just like a darker leather color, but this one has a nice gold detailing, which I thought was lovely. And again, yeah, just a nice little Christmas ornament that I could select as a gift from TSL Kurashiki. So again, another little memory I want to somehow include. If not, I'll put it on my tree for this year. And yeah, just thought I'd show you guys, just in case if you do go there, they have a little gift offer they have there. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my pick. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!